How does it feel like the both of your songs from Badish Bandits, Khamaka and Agara Mahi are like winning fans over all across? So how does that feel for you?
It's really I think it's been really fulfilling for me to be part of a project that a visual project, a show that solely revolves around music. Because I think, and the storytelling is so beautiful in Bandish Bandits that season one was a hit. And I think because season one was a hit, it was so exciting for me to be part of season two. And of course, I got to work with some of my favorite, my peers actually, people I've sort of grown up with in the learning part of the music industry. And do music with them. So like the two main songs that I have, I mean, I have more songs in the show, but Khamaka is composed by my friend Siddharth Pandit, who actually he and I were in the same music school in Chennai. So it was really exciting to be working together as like professionally as a team and a singer. And I've always loved his music, and so I was so happy to collaborate with him through Bandish. And also Anna has been somebody who I've watched, sort of evolve into a solo composer and an individual artist. And we've both started our journeys together. So it's really nice to see such serious, good work being done by my peers and also being loved by the people watching the show.
Yeah. So one of the most hit part of the show has been that Karama he I'm waiting for you, that kind of that song, and like the face of part is one of the biggest hit. When it transit into that Sajan bin I part, so you had to be like in that Tamanna's point of view, where she is like kind of like incompetent in compared to Radhe. So how did you need that? Like because like you're a great singer.
No, that was really fun. I remember for that recording, our director, Anand sir, and like everybody was there. Like even Ritvik was there in that session.
Yeah.
Ritvik also came. I met him for the first time there because when we booked a studio and they were like, like, I know that you sing well, you have to sing badly. Like, leave it like you
Badly.
mess up. Like you have to sing well and then you have to mess up. And we have to create that situation. And it was amazing to create that because at the end of the day, singing is a lot of it is acting, is and as long as the emotion comes through, the it's convincing, right? So it was so fun for me actually, and like this, I had the most fun recording, this entire process because that actually took me quite a few takes to like do the right take, which was supposed to be the wrong take, the wrong EC. Because I kept singing it properly, and they were like, "No,
You personality.
and so yeah, you have to like mess up, sing some bad note or do something that shows that she choked up. So it's nice because I had to keep, it's such an unlearning process because you keep learning to try to get better, and then it's so exciting to do something that sort of breaks your um reflex. So it was really fun. Like it was one of the most unique recordings I've had.
Yeah, I've had like best kind of like Indo-Western because the original Sajan Vinay is mostly kind of like classical music, and then your voice comes in into the Western kind of singing, and it was fun. Like that part was really interesting to see. Like my mom, even my family loved that part, like the whole thing. They're like,
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah.
so, like, since this show is more Indo-Western fusion kind of music part of it, so how do you do you feel like it's kind of like becoming mainstream or like among the young listeners right now? So, how do you think it has evolved with influence in future of Indian music and stuff like that?
Honestly, the fact that there's been such an overwhelming response to both the seasons to this genre, and in general, the kind of covers and people sharing the music and the kind of people who even show up on talent competitions. there's so much rootedness to Indian gharanas that I really feel like we did this one competition as a promotional activity for Bandish Bandits, where a lot of these people performed. Like it was a inter college band competition where they performed songs from season one and season two, and it was so like it felt great to to watch so many young college kids, school kids sing uh, very classical stuff, because it made me feel like wow, the future is in good hands, because people are serious about Indian music, and people are. It's not, sometimes you feel like, oh, we've become too Western, and not. But I
It's
think,
very popular, I think. Like Indian music.
and I love that it's cool. I mean, Indian music is very cool to the newer generation. I think that's a very important thing in society, because of course, peer pressure, influence, all of these things matter in younger age groups. And the fact that being badass in Indian music is considered cool, I think is a wonderful comment on the future of the music industry, because I feel like then we're going to have so many exciting things. I myself was somebody who's always explored. I've actually learned Hindustani classical, which not many people know, because I sing in a very Western. I relate. I relate the importance of having structured education in music, as well as exploring your own thing. So I love that that's happening, and I love that it's being represented so beautifully.
I think like if you learn like I also learned a bit of Hindustani musical like for 2 years or something. But if you learn about Hindustani musical, then you can recognize all kind of music. That's what I think. Like you can you can you open up to a lot of things. Like you don't listen to just one thing because you get it like कि क्या music है मला थे.
Right, right. I think it's very subjective, because I know a lot of singers who've never learned anything, but they absorb. They sing. In fact, they sing Indian classical influenced Hindi songs, or like light music as they call it, better than a lot of people who've learned. And I think it's just because of that attraction towards the genre. So I think passion, attraction, and of course, have being a good listener, and of course, then comes skill and voice and texture and all that. But
First, you have to be you have to be open up to the genre. That's the thing. Like all the
and you have to be in love with it. Like to it has to be a relationship.
yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, obviously. So, like in Kamaka, he was singing like complexities of love, this longing that Tamanna was feeling. Like she was in the complex situation, ki what to do and stuff like that. And she was feeling for the Radhe and stuff, who she broke up with and stuff. So, how do you connect to that emotions when you're singing like for a character part or something? Like those deep emotions and stuff.
So at the time when I first heard the song and recorded it, I didn't know the context in terms of the scene that's going on visually, but it didn't matter to me. I think because the composition and of course the lyrics are so self-explanatory. Like you just have to feel it, and I think it's such. I think pain and love are, I think, the two biggest emotions in humans. Like uh like pain that derives from love, or pain that derives from sadness, or anything. But pain, I think, actually is the most powerful emotion. I think it's even a study that the sad songs go more than the songs. Yeah, so it's such a beautiful motivator that. And when Siddharth sent me the song, it was so simple, yet it was like so complicated, to sing that song. And there are complicated parts of the song when we enter the the cross and the tulare.
Different in that sense. Like some like your voice is kind of like very thin in that layer. Like it's almost kind of like a whisper or something like that. That's
Yeah, so because I love exploring songs, like I feel like it doesn't matter if you sang it correctly, it matters if you felt it correctly. So there are a lot of takes that I sent to I recorded myself. Like I didn't record it in a studio, I recorded it from my home studio. And there are takes that I sent Siddharth that were not exactly my best singing in terms of like sur and all of that. But that was the point. Ki the words have to be felt because it's that kind of a song. And that's the whole whispering in the ending, especially of the song, where I kind of almost say the words instead of singing it. I think that was all just me trying to like just feel the song.
Very sad, all those emotions and stuff like that. Cool song.
Yeah, it is a very cool song.
Yeah. So between both of these songs, like which one do you feel like most connected to?
I mean, I have rooted for Khamaka from day one. Like the day I heard the song, the day Siddharth sang it and sent it to me, I loved it. I fell in love. Like I actually fell in love with the song. Like I have been waiting for the song to come out. And I had and like you do have a soft corner for certain, songs that you sing in your career because some of them are just you just feel them more. And that's the same for listeners, right? That's why you like one song more than another. And I just loved Khamaka. Like I just felt like, oh my god, I can't wait for the world to hear this, basically.
It was great. That song is like playing. I feel like that song is like you're shining alone in that sense because it's a solo jam, mostly. Uh, why?
And also, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in peak stack. Like because you would shine more on that. Like also.
Oh, like as a singer, yes, of course. Like putting it that way, of course, there was more of me in Khamaka. That's of course the case. And yeah, I think for me, what happened through that is that I got to explore like myself. Like I got to explore the song because it wasn't like okay, I sing my part, then there's another part. It's not structured. It was wild. I think the wildness is what created that attraction to the song.
So do you think like like even though like group songs are more magical and stuff like that, they get very popular and stuff. Do like singer have a different approach when it comes to your solo song or like something like that?
Um, Not necessarily. Like for Ghara Mahi also, it was a process because there are what you're hearing is actually a compilation of um so
Two, three
many
songs. Yeah.
versions. Yeah, and actually it is one song. Like Ghara Mahi Waiting for You, it's all one song. When I recorded it, actually I recorded it like as one song, and then they made it to do it. So for me, it didn't matter to me. Like that's not important whether I'm singing with somebody else or I'm singing alone. It just matters to me that the song is felt and promoted. So,
It did. Mudded a lot. So, coming to the show and stuff. So, since this the show, like even the writer, the story writer, said he wanted to make it into like something which speaks for Indian singers, basically. So, how do you see the series? Like, how do you see like it's contributing to the singers right now? Because currently Bollywood is just making remixes or something like that, and this shows all the songs, like not only in season 1 but also season 2, have like both have original songs, original soundtracks, and it's hit. So what do you think, like in that sense, ki like should there be like changes in our current Bollywood music sense, because even the people are tired of it, honestly.
I think it's not a topic to even debate or talk about because there will always be original, there will always be remakes. I don't think it's anything to stop or to be like मत करो क्योंकि कई remakes भी मुझे बहुत सुंदर मैंने खुद इतने सारे remakes गाए and बहुत and for me it's so much fun to sing a recreation because I'm like wow I've grown up obsessed with this song or in love with this song and I get to be the actual singer of it now, so it is a beautiful thing also. And I think there's beauty in that, and there's beauty in, of course, in new music as well. Because, the fact that, in fact, when a song is being remade, it's only being remade because it's loved that much. That if you think about it, the core emotion behind a remake is because we already love it so much, we want more of it. It's not like, otherwise, why would they make a remake? Because they know that people will love it and people will connect with it. That's obviously the first reason why. So remakes hone do na, matlab, I think it's also awesome that as an artist also, when you're singing to a crowd and of 3 generations, and all the generations know the song and they have a different and if I sing a song that's been remade, everybody knows the song, which is so cool, like, across 3 generations, and they also have a different connection with the song, you know so I think that can be a very beautiful thing. And having said that, of course, making new music will always happen also, as you can see with Bandesh and so many films where you hear new songs that have sort of topped the charts and become obsessions of the public. तब ये तो दोनों ही होगा and होता रहेगा.
Huh. So coming to that, like to connections and this thing. So who has been one of your biggest music influence, and how do they impact you?
Uh, I've had so many big influences in music. I mean, everybody influences me in some way or the other. Everyone I work, at the end of the day, it's exchange of energy, with artist to artist. So every artist I've worked with has in some way or the other inspired me, changed my perspective, added new things to my perspective. So this is the tough question to answer, but my answer would be everyone in some way or the other. Everyone that I've interacted with or heard.
So how do you choose your songs, like between like some independent music or some Bollywood soundtrack? How do you decide what to sing and stuff?
See, when it comes to film music, like, I do work with some of the best composers, and so I mean, there's no deciding that. I work with them, and I work with them with whatever song happens, and whatever song we work on. And when it comes to non-film, uh, I try to. I mean, right now I'm on a journey when I'm only picking projects where I get to be part of it. In Preferably, I get to be a writer on the song. Like, I get to write because I feel like I'm already doing the playback thing. So I don't want to do playback singing for an actor in singles because उसमें कोई story नहीं है, तो कोई मतलब नहीं है कि कोई और lip sync कर रहा है मेरे गाने पे. So I want to be, if there's a video, I want to be the face of my voice because I am the face of my voice. So I think it's important for India to see pop stars and to see their singers as see them, not just hear them, because it is breaking that fashion of only singing in films and actors ke liye awaaz dena. That is breaking. And even though, I mean, it sounds funny saying that because Bandish, there was an actor doing the acting. Because I think we're a little we will take a few steps away from singers and actors, sort of, having a breed of singers who are also actors. Right now we have actors and we have singers, and right now I'm focused on, whenever I do non-film music, especially stuff I've written, it's just like regular pop videos where you are the face of your video and you are showing your art, in all forms, not just in singing. And I think there will be a time when there will be a breed of actor singers also, people who are doing the actual singing of their acting, which is happening in India as a, like how you see it in La La Land, or yes, like a music, yeah.
I think so. Main thing, I feel like it's changing more, and people want Indian pop stars and stuff like that. It used to happen like around like 90s or something at that time, but after that it stopped, and movie music came to the play, and then now it's coming back because I think like people are seeing more like K-pop and these kind of things getting more hidden like that, because these singers are like trained to do these things like singing, dancing, being the part of every entertainment thing and stuff like that. So I think so people in India want more of that because we have good music. We have Indian classical music as well. We can do fusion and stuff like that. A different genre basically will come. Yeah. So I think that's something like that's why it's coming back like that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have explored all different kind of genres and stuff like that. So one particular genre that you would like to do in future, like more and stuff like that, which one would that be?
I don't think it would be any one genre. Right now, I'm writing a lot of music that's like hip hop and folk combined because these are two genres I absolutely love. Like very folk melodies. I'm making very folk melodies, and but I also produce music, and when I produce, I make very hip hop songs. So I think I'm just kind of experimenting and making music that's kind of the best of both worlds. So that's actually what is up next in terms of my independent music.
Ooh, that's great. I'll see. I'll look into it.
Absolutely, please do.
Yeah. So that's it.
Thank you. Thanks, Amriti.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.